I'm Ellen and today I'm going to show you how I made this shopping bag. To make our shopping bag, we're going to need a couple of things. First of all, you're going to need some fabric. And because it's going to be a bag and it needs some strength, I would recommend going with a woven fabric. Next, you're going to need some thread, some chalk to do your markings, then some pins to keep the fabric together while we sew, a pair of scissors to cut, and finally a ruler or some measuring tape. So this fabric that I have is actually a leftover piece from when I made some cushion covers. So it's got a bit of a weird shape to it. I'm just going to have to work with what I have. I'm just going to cut it as big as I can because I'm limited by the fabric that I have. But for you, you might want to find a bag that you like and measure it, or maybe just go for, I don't know, 40 centimeters by 45 or something. That should give you a good size bag. Now remember to make room for your seam allowances. So about a centimeter and a half on each of the sides, and a bit more on top because we're going to be folding it down twice. Now to make your markings, I recommend that you fold your fabric with the right sides together so that we can make our markings on the back where we won't see them even if it happens that we can't get them out somehow. Now, before we cut, we're going to want to put pins in our fabric just to make sure it doesn't slip. So that's going to be our bag. Now it's time to cut the straps. I'll be making my straps about 45 centimeters of a doubled fabric, so that will be 70 centimeters in total, plus seam allowance, of course, on all the sides. Our pieces are all cut and we're ready to start sewing. The first thing we're going to have to do is sew a zigzag stitch around all of the pieces. Now the reason we're going to do it is because this fabric is woven and it has a tendency to have little threads sticking out at the end. So to make it a bit more durable so we can enjoy it for a long time, we're going to put the zigzag in place. We're going to fold our fabric right sides together. And then we're going to pin the two side seams. Now we're going to put a straight stitch on both of those sides to close up. The next step is to make a bottom in the bag, and to do that we're going to sew in the corners along the bottom seam. I'm measuring 4 centimeters here from the bottom and making a little marking on both the corners on both sides of the fabric. Next I'm going to flatten out these corners so that we can pin them in place and sew along the line. Making a little extra marking so it's clear to see, and repeating on the other side. Folding out that corner, pinning it in place, and continuing that line that I made 4 centimeters from the bottom. Now if we fold the bag back to its original position, you can see these two flaps sticking out, and that's where the bottom of the bag is going to be. So we're going to sew along these two flaps. And that's that. Our bag now has a nice bottom. Okay, now we have these two pieces of fabric that we're going to turn into the straps. And the way we do it is we're going to be folding in the raw edge on each of the sides to hide that. And then we're going to fold the whole thing in half once more, putting those edges together, and that will give us our final strap. So I'm going to pin this in place for both of them completely, and then we can sew them after that. Those are the straps all pinned up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a straight stitch very close to the edge here where the two pieces of fabric fold together. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side where there's just a fold. I'm going to stitch very closely to the edge just to make the straps look professional and lay nice and flat. I keep pinning myself. We're going to need to fold in the top of the bag, so this frayed edge right here, twice. Once, and you can see you still see the raw edge, but if we do it again, then it looks very pretty. So let's fold this all the way around. And make sure that these seams that you have at the side of the bag, that you fold them open before you make the fold, so it doesn't get too bulky in there. There we go. Now we're going to insert our straps into place. And we're going to want to space them out evenly, so we're going to have to measure this. So I'm going to go, let's see, 10 centimeters from the side seam. That seems like a good place. So now we have these two marks of where the straps will go. And I'm just going to slide it underneath, and I'm going to put a pin. Let's repeat on the other side of the bag. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew those in place. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a straight stitch and sew very close to this bottom edge here, all the way around the bag. And what that will do is it will keep this seam that we made in place, and it will also attach those straps in there all in one go. Alright, so now we're going to do another stitch all the way around the edge, and we're going to do it along the top edge here, again very close to the edge, so that we have a nice finish there as well. And while we do this, we're going to flip the straps upwards. Now, for the finishing touch, the final step, I want to reinforce these places where I attach the straps. So what we'll do is we'll sew a cross right here. And that is it. Our bag is done.